Haha, the Clark the Shark Show. And welcome to part 2 of my review of one of the greatest albums ever recorded in rock and roll history. Of course, I'm talking about the fabulous Electric Prunes. And this album right here was one of those albums Clark the Shark would hear on old KNAC long ago. Not the heavy metal KNAC in Los Angeles. I'm talking before that. KNAC, KNAC. They'd play all kinds of underground 60s or mixed with punk rock and indie and psychedelic and weird hard rock, everything, man. But I already knew about the Electric Prunes. And you haven't died and gone to heaven. You're just on the Clark the Shark Show at 1-800-449-8255. Yes, I knew about the Electric Prunes long before I was born in 1965. Clark the Shark knew about the Electric Prunes forever, because the good Lord told me, Clark the Shark, you shall and you will learn about one of the greatest rock and roll bands that ever existed. And these guys were really only in the 60s and just a few albums. And that's a bummer, because I would have loved to have seen where the Electric Prunes were going. You know, they probably would have adapted to hard rock, you know, like Steppenwolf and The Who and Led Zeppelin in the 70s. These guys probably would have turned into like a Uriah Heep type someday in 1972. But we shall never know now here on the Clark the Shark Show at 1-800-449-8255. Clark the Shark is coming to you from the golden EIB Sharkerphone. This ain't the Little Steven Underground Garage. No way, baby. You're on the Clark the Shark Show. It's better. Much better. Much, 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 much better. It's Clark the Shark. And I'm going to get into side 2. Because side 1, there's the reviews. It should be all 5-star, but somebody gave it a 3. Oh my God. Please. The Electric Prunes, the first album over in England, they loved it. You know, they love American music over in England. And of course, I had too much to dream last night on the amazing side 1. Side 1 of this album is just one of the greatest sides in rock and roll history, you know. But if you thought side 1 was great, you gotta hear side 2, baby. And Get Me to the World on Time. It almost sounds like a advertisement for jet aircraft like American Airlines. You gotta get me to the world on time. Come on, Sharky. We got to get you to the world on time at 1-800-449-8255. One of the greatest songs, you know, and it's written by Jill Jones and Annette Tucker. These girls just wrote incredible songs, and it's such a damn shame that, you know, the Electric Prunes probably weren't allowed to write songs. They're just 2 Prunes originals. Oh, but they are great songs on this amazing album. And of course, about 8:45 is like, you know, just the mellowest, like a Lovin' Spoonful or like Chad and Jeremy. It's cool, mellow shit. I love it, man. You know, you probably heard that one in a movie or two or somewhere. It's kind of ahead of its time, too, man. It's killer. I'm still thinking of Get Me to the World on Time. What a song, man. 2 of rock and roll's greatest songs on one album, and they're both track number 1. One on side 1 and that one on side 2, baby. But the song, man, the king is in the counting house. Fucking killer. It's like the Hollies. It's way ahead of its time, man. It almost sounds like the 1970s. And when I'm talking about killer songs, you know I'm talking about Lovin'. You know, the song that's written by Lowe himself. is killer, man. And of course, Train for Tomorrow. James wrote that one too. There's two original Prunes songs on this album. And it makes me wonder, what would this whole album have been had there been more or all Prunes originals? But as it is, even with the girls and these songwriters, they wrote killer fucking shit here, man. And Try Me On for Size just sounds like the Sonics are like, fuck, man, you talk about killer garage underground rock, 1966. Sounds like the Music Machine meets the Dave Clark 5. It's so fucking, it's as good as the Sonics, man. It's so fucking good. Try Me On for Size. I love side 2 of this album, man. Now, if there's one bad song on the album, but even it is really funny, it's the final song, the Tunerville Trolley, which is just silly. It's like the Lovin' Spoonful, man. It's